Hi, this video is a demonstration of a Resensys wireless humidity and temperature SenSpot sensor. What we have are the SenSpot temperature and humidity sensor, an Energizer lithium CR2 battery. This is the specific battery that works in the SenSpot. If you'd like to change or remove a battery, you can look at our other video on how to do that. And here we have an antenna that goes with the SenSpot. The polarization of the antenna is important. This antenna is a male port antenna, and the temperature and humidity antenna port is female, so you must have a male to female connection for it to work. So we're just going to screw that on, and once it's tight we'll just raise the antenna, and now we are ready to open the SenScope software. Once double clicking, we go to the title screen. We don't have to worry about logging in with any type of credentials because we are just using live mode. Also in live mode, you need to make sure that you have the licensing dongle and the USB sync dongle into the USB slots of your computer. Once everything is in order, you press the second button, which is the live mode button, and that brings you to SenScope. Now, once here, go to data source and you press live. At the bottom you can see the COM serial port settings. The COM port is usually set as a default by the software, but if you have multiple devices, you will just have to select the appropriate COM port. The baud rate, parity, data bits, and stop bits should all be set to the default values that are there when SenScope is first opened. Now once everything is good, we open the serial port, and here we can see the data packets being transmitted. We will go straight to the graphing option, and we want to look at a graph of the humidity of this SenSpot. So we can identify the SenSpot by its identification number that we see on the top plate. This identification number is 14030461. Now to find that same SenSpot on SenScope, I look for its ID. I can filter the IDs by pressing the top button, and here is that same SenSpot. I can also look at it from its type. It's a humidity, and I can just double check that. Now I want to look at the humidity quantity. I can select all of these quantities to look at, but right now we'll just look at humidity. Once I have that quantity and the ID highlighted, I just press Add Chart, and this shows the humidity that the SenSpot sensing element right here is experiencing. So to show a demonstration, I'm just going to put it in my closed hand and close it, and the humidity will begin to rise. Now we can see the humidity is rising. The humidity is rising to around a little above 70% because the relative humidity in my hand is much greater than the relative humidity in the air. And it's still rising. It's gone to about just above 85. And here it's leveling off. Now we'll just let it send one more. And I will open up my hand just a little bit. Let some air in. And here we can see that it's still pretty high, so I'm just going to let it totally out of my hand and let it back in the open environment. And now it's beginning to fall. And it will continue to fall until it reaches pretty much back to where it was, right below 40. Now if I want to see the temperature that this SenSpot sensing element is experiencing, I'm going to just remove this graph. I can do that by pressing Remove Graph, or remove all graphs. I'll just remove this graph, and I will highlight temperature probe, and I will add that graph here. Now this shows what we've been doing previously, just the same type of demonstration. I'll put it in my closed hand, and the temperature will rise. The temperature scale can be seen on the left in terms of Celsius. And I just put it in my hand so it'll begin to rise. And now it's starting to get higher. You can see it's at 30 degrees Celsius. And it's going up to 32. Here it has reached a high temperature and is just kind of staying there because it's still in my hand. And it's going up just a little bit. And after it transmits once more, I'll let go of it, and it'll begin to reduce back to the open atmosphere temperature. I've just let it go from my hand, and it'll start to decline slowly back to its original temperature. And here we start to see the decline. It's gone from 33 to 32. We can see that on this axis. And it's starting to go back down. And now it's declining steadily. Now if I'd like to change the properties of this SenSpot, I highlight the ID, it's already highlighted, I right click, I press properties, and here I can change the name of the SenSpot, and in calibration I can change the offsets and coefficients of the data being transmitted. I'll just cancel because I didn't make any changes, and that is the entirety of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.